Hey there, welcome back to Tennille Talks, y'all. So this is another short one. This is just a chat. I feel like we are in the same location. I have my same handmade deck. We are in the Hall of the Two Truths, or the Hall of Mayat. This is about the judgment of the dead. We have reached a point of no return. This is a point where things must be balanced. And the way to bring balance, the way to bring justice is by truth. In our last reading, we had a divine masculine who was described as a good person with good intentions, somebody who's reliable. That person, that king of clubs, they were declaring their innocence, that they had not assaulted anyone. In this reading, we have an ice queen. To be called the ice queen, it means there's nothing warm and fuzzy about you. So this is somebody who has sharp words. They have a sharp tongue. They can be very intelligent, logical, rational, and witty, but nothing about them is compassionate and empathetic. This is somebody that uses all of their energy, and when their energy is projected, it feels like swords. It feels cold. It feels sharp. The law that this ice queen is using in order to declare their innocence about a transgression made against you says, I have not spoken angrily or arrogantly. This ice queen is arrogant, which means they have exaggerated their own importance. Because this person thought that they were more important than they were, when they opened their mouth to speak about you, the displeasure in their voice was obvious. Now I have another card. It says 2 bodies, 1 soul, pure love. You are a vessel of pure love. 2 bodies, 1 soul doesn't necessarily mean that when somebody spoke about you, they were speaking about a pure, loving relationship that they were watching you have with another person. When you are a pure soul, I really believe that you and the divine, you are 2 separate entities, 2 separate bodies, but you have become one. And so there's a purity about you. And so the words and the energy that somebody was speaking out of their vessel in order to describe you, it did not match. This is why we are in this reading. This is why this person is trying to say, yo, I'm innocent. But just like the last reading, whatever the attempt was to bring you harm, you're tapped into the flow of the universe. There's nothing that can be done to you that is unjust that is going to thrive. Everything has to come back to this moment where things are discussed. And so you have 2 souls, the last reading and this one, where people are really needing to rectify the truth inside of themselves about how they treated you, how they spoke to you. This is not anything that you were doing. This is not a moment that you could have controlled. This is not a moment that you could have called in. This is like right on time. Y'all, we are finishing out a 9-year. And however you end this next 3 months is what sets you up for your 2026. But what people have done this year to you and what has taken place in your life over the past 9 years, and you know we have cycles inside of cycles. So there are groups of people who have to balance something inside of their own soul in order to not have their own heart devoured, right? And so this is the moment where people have a chance to change their outcome. Now, yes, you still have consequences for what you've done. It is not okay to just say, I'm sorry. And my problem with this reading is that there are still people who are saying that they are innocent, and they absolutely know that they caused some type of harm, either by way of their tongue or by way of their hands, right? So we have the Knight of Wands. This is the energy that describes this ice queen, somebody who was quick, impulsive, but unfortunately they moved or spoke so quickly that now they got to turn around in order to gain clarity about why is it that I'm facing this judgment. Another card I have is the 10 of Clubs, and I wasn't quite sure how the 10 of Clubs fits in. When this card comes up, it means things are looking up. Some type of promise is going to bring improvement. Your circumstances are going to change for the better. Maybe there's unexpected financial gain. It could be connected with work, a successful business venture, your legacy, your inheritance. It could also mean there's like a tax rebate or there's an insurance claim. This is like you receiving something that you didn't see coming, but it's just a blessing. And it's one of those right on time type of blessings. Now, if you don't directly receive something that increases value or like elevates your life, this also means that you meet someone who is going to be very helpful. Maybe they'll give you advice, maybe they provide you with resources, but this is about life looking real good for you. And there's a purity in you. There's a purity about you because you are in alignment. You are two bodies, one soul with the Most High, with the universe. You were all the way tapped in. And so the words that were used to describe you, I don't know if this Ice Queen was going to receive something, if they lied, if they talked about you in the way that was nasty or outside of your character. Were they the person that got to get some type of unexpected financial gain? You understand what I'm saying? So either you are in your winning season and somebody couldn't stand to see it, and so through their own lack of impulse control, they just started spewing hate out of their mouth in order to kind of muck up the energy about like what you were really in. Or somebody talks about you in a way that is impure because they are going to receive a financial benefit for doing so. Somebody wanted their life to experience a level up. Somebody wants success. They want luck. And the way to do that was to downplay you, was to kind of paint you with their words to be something other than what you really were. So earlier we talked about the divine masculine king of clubs, recognizing that their inspiration to act against you left them in the 9 of swords, a state of stress and anxiety. And now we have an ice queen who's gaining clarity that their impulse, their inability to control their tongue, their inability to be honest about who you were and who they weren't is what led them to this point. Y'all, this is about people believing their own lies. And they believe their own lies so much that now we're at the point where you can only tell one truth. And if the scales don't accept what you're telling, y'all, there's a consequence for dishonesty. You know, and sometimes people do get drunk off of their own lies. But everybody is sobering up. The reading earlier in this reading makes me feel like these are sobering moments in people's lives, soul sobering moments in people's lives. You're finishing out these cycles in a very beautiful way. But what happens in 2026 and the years to come, it is almost like a giant flip or a role reversal. And you could only have gotten here. You can only maintain your purity and your flow with the universe is if you told yourself the truth no matter what you endured over these 9 years. A lot of people told themselves a lie, believed the lie, and then went on to speak about you or behave or to treat you in a certain kind of way. But y'all, the lies are not going to make it out of 2025. No lie will stand in 2026. All right, y'all. I love you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.